She is. Welcome everybody to the Township of Nipissing Rec Committee meeting on October 7th, 24. Time is 6:33.
6:30.
Is there a disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing that. Need someone to approve the minutes of the meeting of September 16th and 24.
So, who was the first?
Oh, sorry, James.
And Andrew? Nope, you have to ask everybody.
Oh. Approved. Discussion items. We start with the bottle drive update.
So it wasn't that many this week, so we postponed it. And we'll probably look again after Thanksgiving weekend, when everybody brings in and closing up cottages. So I'll have a look on Tuesday after Thanksgiving and I'll let everybody know how it looks.
Lisa, you got all the Bear Creek stuff cleaned out? You must have.
Yes, 2 weeks ago. I don't know what it looks like now, but
Oh, it's not bad, not bad. Thank you.
no problem.
Okay, moving in the park wrap up.
I think we're good. We had roughly about 70 people at a quick count.
I think the kids love the movies. The movie. It's fun.
Trolls.
Trolls, it was good.
Yeah. Tom at Home Hardware is always a big hit, and we always appreciate him coming out. And
I think from his donations, I think he donated from the popcorn sales. I think it was around $238 that he donated back into the recreation event programming. So that's awesome.
Right.
It's funny to see his lineup that he had there.
Yeah,
As soon as he opened up, there was lineup.
yeah, that's awesome.
Any team dance planning on October 25th?
I think everything's set for that. I know that Kim has organized the water and the candy, and there's no chips, right?
I don't, we're gonna do chips
Oh, we
again
are gonna
and
do
just not the
chips.
pop this time.
Not pop, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, water was more the thing that all the kids wanted anyway. So.
Yeah.
And then have we secured the movie pass for the best costume?
We still have to pick that up, but the DJ's been confirmed for that evening. And I spoke to Will, and there's some Halloween decorations we can use to set up for that night for the hall, so we can decorate. And then Leanne has also available to help for that evening as well. So there'll be 3 of us for the night for the dance.
Okay, good. And then I guess we'll meet maybe an hour early to decorate.
now, are you guys planning on handing out candy?
We haven't discussed that. It's been done in the past.
I
This
don't-
is the first time.
Oh, this is the first time Indians. Oh, okay.
I think it might be difficult for the kids to bring bags and keep track of it.
Yeah, I think,
personally love it, but-
no, I think that we've got those stuff for them to buy, and we've got freezies that we're gonna give away. So they've got the water and we've got those extra freezies left over. No freezies left? Okay. All right.
Not enough to worry about.
No, okay. So,
They're there to dance
yeah.
and socialize.
And who's judging the contest? I forgot.
I guess it'll be the three of us.
Three of us will judge, yeah.
Good luck. Okay, roast beef dinner, November 23rd.
At this point, we're just waiting to see what we sell for tickets, so then we can make a plan on what we buy at the end of the day. So I saw the tickets today at the store, both
Yeah.
stores. So starting this week, we're gonna start pushing it on the weekend and see if we can get those tickets sold.
So tickets are available at the township office, Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. And at both stores, South Shore and Foots General. $25 for adults and $15 for kids.
It's a great price. People are saying it's a great price, so it shouldn't be a problem to sell it at all. So, once we know numbers, we'll have a better idea of where we're at.
Do we need student volunteers? I was asked that.
So, got a call this week from coach. And the Voodoos now, I believe are playing their makeup game that day. So, yeah, but he did offer us players until 6 o'clock. So, I think we're gonna play. He said, play by ear. And I said to him, we'll take whatever we can get. Like, if they wanna come in for an hour and stay for an hour, that's fine.
And we
need to
definitely
back
could-
up the volunteers.
We could use the volunteers.
Yeah.
So if they want to email me, because we will need some people to help with dishes and putting dishes away and
Yeah.
there is something for everybody. And it's great to get the kids out that need their community service hours. Because I do know there's a couple that are graduating this year, or a couple hours short, because they had to run through COVID, right? So COVID really shut down some volunteer hours.
Yeah, I'm thinking we probably need we could probably use 3 people out front, just for the plates, right? Maybe 4 and then 3 or 4 in the kitchen, right? And then once we're finished serving plates out front, we don't have a lot to do, but
And it'd be kind of neat to have the kids work with the Voodoos too,
I think it'd
hand
be
in
great.
hand, so that'd be kind of cool.
I think it'd be great. Okay. And a good bunch of kids.
We could hook a volunteer up with a Voodoo, that'd be really, they'd have an awesome time with it. So I
And
think
then
we
we can just
take,
take over when they gotta go.
And as far as this committee goes for cooking, we have,
So most of it is gonna be ready prior to. So, the roast beefs will all be ready prior to. They'll probably go on the night before, to be honest with you, because we're smoking them. The mashed potatoes, they will all be cooked and done beforehand. So I will, as soon as we have numbers, then if we can get some people together to mash and peel, we can go from there. Yeah, it won't take long. It's such an easy event to run. It will not take long at all. Because it's gonna be carrots, it's gonna be green beans, it's mashed potatoes, roast beef.
Yeah.
And gravy.
I've already bought ticket 1 and 2 to make sure I don't miss mine, so.
anyway, I'm available to help
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. We'll probably end up doing it here and we'll just do it.
during the day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Leanne emailed to say she's available to help. as
Okay,
well, too.
awesome. Yeah. And that'd be good. It's more the potato peeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's about it. Is there
We
anything
should
else?
make something.
We should what?
Washing machine, I have some ideas.
Uh,
We've contacted a couple locals that provide some of the stores and other people with goodies, and they're gonna give us some pricing for some mixed trays and, yeah, so hopefully that works out. They're all approved kitchens and all that, and so it's all health unit inspected.
Oh, okay.
They're not volume wise, so they just wanted to know kind of numbers to make sure it's doable before they 100% guarantee. So,
And it'd be nice to keep it local and to support the
Absolutely.
community.
Absolutely.
In the past, we've gone outside the community and I'd rather not if we don't have to.
I'm sure there's some talent here.
and then we'll look for the door prize too. So we'll work on the door prize. I'll get the gift card next week for the Halloween too. And we'll get a door prize for that. So we have everything ready to go.
Do we want to see if we can put together some baskets or something for the door prizes? And do we want to do kids and adults? 2 kids, 2 adults? What do you think? Just so the kids feel like they're part of it.
If I can make a suggestion, maybe one for each, if we're gonna
One of
do,
each?
if,
Yep.
if you guys wanna do one for each, I suggest maybe one.
Yep.
Cause I'm hoping that we could reach out to a lot of the local businesses and see if.
Yeah.
If they would like to donate, and we'll make a basket of local,
Like one big local bucket.
if that's what you guys would like to do.
Yeah.
100% up to the board if you wanna do baskets and. You wanna do one for adults, one for kids?
Like it is a food basket or what kind of a basket are we talking?
It'd probably be a mix of stuff, we go local.
Like jams and things like that? Okay.
And then for the kid, if you wanna do a kid one, we'll make sure there's some outside activities and.
Mhm.
We always try to put some public education stuff in our giveaway stuff, so.
Yeah. Great.
Is that the kind of direction the committee wants to go?
Yeah.
I'm
sounds
good with
great.
it.
Yeah.
Excellent. We will put our heads together and see what we did.
Okay, are we finished with that one? Strategic planning, 5 to 10 years.
Sorry, just one more thing I was.
Oh, sorry.
Are we gonna do some kind of like dress code or something for this?
As in,
Are we gonna wear volunteer shirts or are you
oh,
gonna
sorry,
wear?
okay.
Suit tie.
I
You guys,
think
you guys would all look great in suit ties and stuff, but,
I personally believe we should be in our volunteer shirts.
okay. Well, I just
So
wanna
then
make sure that we
they'll-
get everybody and I'll bring all the volunteer shirts here, so any volunteer kids that come for their hours have a shirt as well. So I'll bring the shirts from the,
It's a great
Thank you.
opportunity for people to say thank you. Yeah, to the volunteers.
All right, strategic planning, 5 to 10 years. Discussion on this, please.
so if you're okay with it. Okay, so I'm gonna let Chris start this. There you go, there's the strategic plan.
Budget, but,
Who's gonna-
And there's the strategic plan. Do I get both? Okay.
Anyway, okay, so council passes a strategic plan for the entire township every term of council. And we haven't had a strategic plan for the recreation committee. I also want one for the museum board and the cemetery committee. So that we can add it as an attachment to the back of that strategic plan going forward. For all funding for major events, major purchases, they want to see that we have been planning it for a long time. And then we're ready to implement any plan that we have. If we go for funding just because there's funding and we don't have a plan behind it, we will not be approved. We've proven that over and over again. So we have a few different areas to prepare a strategic plan for, 5 to 10. It kind of goes hand in hand with the capital budget. So anything that you would like to see for the playground, for the rink, or the community center, if we need anything for programming. One of those items might be a surface for the outdoor rink and an upgrade to the boards moving forward. And you can use it for more than one thing, but we have to have a plan in place. So this is where we ask for ideas from the committee. What would you like to see? Maybe start with the playground. Let's start there. Mountain's fun.
Do we still have the one that we did a few years ago?
For me,
Do we still have the one that we did a few years ago?
we have bits and pieces of it. Yeah,
Unfortunately, that was never made into an official document. There were just notes made.
Yeah.
So we're starting again. Now, the other neat thing about this is we have the responses from the surveys, and I believe we gave everybody a copy. So you'll see what,
and also what we're doing is we have one template and we're using for all the committees now.
Yeah.
So
put it
we're all-
together that way.
we're trying to standardize all the committees and,
I just know we had a lot of stuff on that last thing, so that's why I was.
yeah, and there was a lot of good stuff and we remembered a lot of it. But we do have some new faces and maybe some new directions.
So I think when I had sent out the email, there's sort of a blank document and there were some questions on there to help guide through it. So we want, as Chris said, to start with the playground, if there were some ideas in that there to help guide it. And then from the from the community survey, there were thoughts that the community had provided for it as well.
I think you're right. I think when you talk about the playground, a lot of what we're hearing from people is they're looking for something climbing. Kids want something, a climbing apparatus at the playground. That's what they're looking for, like whether it's the big domes. Yeah, something like that, right? So, because there's nothing for the, like, I'd say like 7 to
The older
5 to
kids.
10, you know what I mean? That
Okay.
age, yeah.
So the reason that we do this exercise with the committee is that by giving us that, now we can go out and we can price them.
Yeah.
And then we can bring them back to the committee so that they can be included in a budget going forward and in a plan, so that when the funding of it comes available, we know that we can jump on it, bring it to your attention. So that's a good one. Now, I know we were also given a donation towards benches and tables. Did we apply for the grant for those, for the others?
We did, we weren't successful in that grant for the benches for that pathway, and that was the one that we weren't successful
And
in.
then there was another one that was out. Was that the 50-50 one?
That's the 50-50 one that's still open that we talked about possibly doing with the outdoor rink.
Right, so that's next.
So one of the things I noticed was, it's a little bit hard to access if you're to the park. So some kind of walkway of some sort.
And that was part of our grant that we
Yeah,
applied for. and
yeah.
Was unsuccessful, but yeah, we'll,
Like a pathway
down.
from what point, James?
Like from across from the office.
Yeah.
From DD Street to the, yeah,
So we already have a driveway there, so just making it better.
Yeah, make it,
okay.
and we have handicap of like equipment, but how do they get there?
Yeah, and we were
It's
contacted
difficult.
actually by a group regarding that.
Yeah.
So we have an accessible swing,
And
but there's the chips that are required underneath. And there's no way to access it, say if you have a wheelchair or a
Yeah.
mobility device. So they have mats, so we have to investigate those. as well.
Yeah. The other, well, it was parking and then the benches and tables
Mhm.
that I thought we were already, when maybe signage.
Well, the benches and tables were part of that grant application, so I think, seeing as we weren't successful with that, we'll have to keep looking, but I think it would be in our best interest to price out 2 of each
Yeah,
Yes.
'cause I think
to include in your capital
we got
forecast.
hung up last time whether they wanted wood or plastic and nobody could come to a conclusion.
yeah,
Yeah, let's,
Which,
I still have all the pricing and all that.
let's just do up a proposal and let the committee choose, kind of like. what
Is
we're
there not a
doing.
way we could go in-house with these kinds of things? We do have staff, right, that operate equipment, and we have access to gravel and materials
For,
for building a path or benches or.
for the benches, we would buy the composite benches so that they would last.
you,
Mhm.
if you really don't want wood. 'Cause it's-
Cranberry Trail's got these really nice carved wood, and we have a wood carver in town, and then you lacquer it, and they last for a long time,
I
especially if
install,
we're budget conscious.
I install most of those benches
Mhm.
and help make some of them, so
Awesome.
it was a lot of work. Wood is just too high maintenance. Cause you gotta stain it, or you gotta linseed oil it, you gotta do something. It's just gonna sit in the wide open. And will disappear and cost a lot of money. The ones that with the plastic ones that we installed through a calendar. I installed most of those. And we put cement pads down, so. Saved in lawn mowing and whippersnipping because we made them so that the mowers, not riders could just go around it. Less trimming, less handwork. no grass growing up, you can actually see what you're sitting on. Plastic lasts a long time.
So we're very lucky. We got a bunch of picnic tables and stuff donated to us, which was excellent start. So
So we're just looking at the accessible
tables, yeah.
tables that we wanted to.
We're already
price
down.
out, yeah.
But we need a plan to move forward as the grants come available, or in our capital budgeting and stuff, we can keep putting it into reserves if we have to. And so those are all great ideas.
And the public works staff did prepare the site for the playground. So yes, they do all of that.
Awesome.
We do most of that. What about lighting, solar lighting or?
I think
something to
it's
that
in our
extent?
best interest not to do that, because our playground is only open from dusk to dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn to dusk, sorry,
Yeah.
and there is timelines. So those sign's gone missing, I've been told. So we're gonna order another sign. So we have a sign in the park with the hours of operation and when they're open and closed and stuff, and it went missing. We had our playground inspection done last week, and that was the only thing we got wrote up on, so.
We haven't
does
had
that?
any accidentals over
We
there.
contract calendar, they have a certified person, so we do a shared service.
You may want to try and find over there, like some kind of, maybe we can come up with some kind of shade option. 'Cause there is absolutely zero.
So like a
shade for those
gazebo or
gazebo.
Maybe a gazebo or something.
pergola or whatever, what is that?
Pergola.
Yeah,
A pergola
okay,
or
that's great, those are
something
great
like
ideas.
Parking was a issue.
In what
So there's
aspect?
parking at the rink shack, but that's a long way to
That's a
go.
And we
way to
offer
go.
parking at the township office.
It is, yeah. If we are able to get the walkway, that'll help some of that, but
There's already the driveway there is pretty well packed down, so as long as the mobility issues are not present, a lot of people use that entranceway.
Yeah, I
So
know.
we'll make that better, we can make that better.
I know there's dump trucks that go up and down that road frequently. And you got parents opening and closing car doors, putting kids in.
It's no parking along that road.
So unfortunately, we had to borrow the signs for another problem area we had this year.
Yeah.
And our order is on, we just haven't received our order of new signs yet. So,
So yes, we did, when we made it into a community safety zone, we made all of Beatty Street is no parking to avoid that. So,
so those are great ideas. So would you like to move on to the rink?
yes. So one of the things that definitely has to be done at the rink is that old sign at the corner.
The new one's in the basement.
The which sign?
The new, the Heritage Park sign, the one on the Lake Street and Beatty Street. Is it signed?
The horrible.
It was me that asked.
Yeah,
It's been purchased for a few years now.
well, at the end of last year season.
Just needs to be installed.
Yeah, we have the 6x6s and it's on our docket.
To-do list.
We're slowly working down our to-do list and we're starting to win on it. So I know the base has been talked about in the boards.
So what kind of activities would you like to see on the base outside of winter?
I think it was a paved base or concrete base, so that may be a multi-use to where we can put, like basketball courts, or James had talked about pickleball or tennis.
Ball hockey.
That can be used for, ball hockey.
Yeah.
Everybody
said pickle.
Pickleball, yeah.
There were
We had quite a lot in the survey for pickleball.
Pickleball,
Is it
basketball.
a different base though for pickleball? It's not the same,
It's the same,
like,
Just
Like you mean the
Just-
surface?
yeah.
Just the lines are different, so you could get so if you had a tennis court going this way with the net here, you could have two pickleball courts going this way.
And the great part about that is you can paint, so you can paint the
Yeah.
whole thing, say green.
Yeah.
Still make your basketball lines that are like, say, blue, make your pickleball court yellow,
Orange or
and
whatever.
just do different colors and then
Yeah, yeah.
everybody,
Multi-use.
it still stands out
Well,
separately
yeah,
for what
as
you're
you
doing.
said, Andrew, multi-use.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's one of the key things I'd like to get rid of is outdoor rink, multi-use facility, change it, because if you label it,
So we actually labeled it Heritage Park,
yeah,
so.
but even that, we're calling it right, just come up with a better name. Multi-use, anything that promotes that we're not pigeonhole this one thing for that purpose. Because when you're looking for grants and you're pigeonholed, you will miss out on stuff because, that's, pickleball's not for a rink.
Yeah, and I think like if we
You gotta think,
maybe put the priority first on the base, if you can't get like an all-inclusive grant, like put priority on the base first, and then we have a foundation to start on to go next for boards. Even though I know the boards are in dire need, because I mean, you pull a lot of them, but I mean, if we start with the base, at least then apply for more later, then we have a foundation already to start on.
Are
Then
we
we say-
still, sorry,
Go ahead.
I was wondering if we're still looking at expanding it to the regulation size?
Yeah, I believe that would be the best interest. If we are gonna do the base, we're best to go back to the normal size.
I know it's really, really far down the road. But if you're gonna do a cement base, do your foundations for, at the same time, as if you're gonna put a roof on it. Cause if you wait, you don't wanna build your base and then find out that you have to rip part of your base apart to put a foundation in, to put a roof on. Look farther down the road,
Agreed. That's a really good idea.
because
So,
in my little world, that's what I've always wanted, and I watched everybody else around us get that. So,
So devil's advocate here, that will mean that we need engineer drawings.
Yes. Yeah, because that's what we discussed before, was having somebody come in, do the engineered plan for what we want. And then basically at the maximum size, and then we can work, and at least then we know what we're up against for raising.
So if we do the engineered drawings first, that will be one full year of not doing anything else. Because
Yeah.
that's the expensive.
I would think that would be before you put your cement down, you're gonna
Oh,
need
yes,
an engineered drawing
for the whole thing.
for what
before we
you
start.
And at least then it shows too that you have your plan in effect, and so now you're like, oh.
Then you're shovel ready,
That's
and
exactly-
that's what they
The
look for.
government's like, oh,
That's great.
we can step forward.
That's excellent. Perfect.
Anything for the rink shack?
can always expand that at any time,
Well, we have to do something because it's not accessible.
no, well,
That stair is crazy.
I think it needs to be, we talked one time before, expanding it out, making it bigger, and then adjusting the bathrooms. So that the access for the bathrooms will literally be on the outside, you don't have to go through into a room to get to the bathrooms, make them more standard to our local community, our other representatives.
And I don't know about the men's side, the women's toilet is really, really low.
That's for accessibility purposes.
Is it?
Yeah,
But if we expand it, we can always, can you make one and another? I don't think bathrooms now are gonna be, it's not gonna be his
They're
and
not,
hers
they're
anymore,
not
it's
men or
gonna
women's
be.
right now. They're
I know.
Universal.
Is that a requirement?
Yeah,
You can always put in
because we don't have urinals or anything. They're just.
if it's expanded, you got, then you have, make it room for a change room, not a change room. Diaper table,
Changed him.
a change table, I don't know what those things are.
those actually we have to put in here and down there, so they're actually gonna be done.
Yeah, that's all part of
We're- yeah.
accessibility, so that's,
We're already working on that. That's
Again, I
great.
think that would take another engineer to look at,
yeah, that one would be a big one.
because if you want to improve the building and make it bigger, then we'll have to maybe sit down and look at it a little harder.
All great ideas, thank you. Okay,
And probably lighting could be another big one for the rink. There we go.
Like if we expand it, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in taking it apart and putting up new stuff now, but I mean, just, yeah.
Well, there is all this stuff.
Is there, oh,
We just did all that.
oh, maybe, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you're right, yeah, well, all the lighting and everything would be all worked in.
Yeah.
So it's all.
right now the lights are the best.
yeah, okay.
So let's jump to community center.
You wanna go to the beaches and us?
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
I just got it up sheet. So you guys want to go to the community center?
What changes would you like to see for the community center?
And we've already heard the paint color, so
Oh, looks like someone started.
we're just doing some touch-ups.
Oh,
Oh, because we took down the balances that have been there since,
oh,
since the place was built.
Can we do something with the ceiling?
We can,
We've been working away at
So-
that. actually.
we actually have a couple more ceiling tiles, but that would have to be a budgeted item to replace, because that's quite expensive to replace
Yeah.
that all. But yes, it would be nice. So I
I,
love that idea.
They're also paintable.
I would
Mhm.
get rid of
they are.
all this style, because I'm not 100% sure if they're not partially asbestos.
No, they're good. We just bought them.
I
Yeah,
would,
thank you.
there's NDF
Yep.
up there, out there now, it's available. A far better solution. Less dust, less stuff falling on you.
They are paintable, as Lisa said, though, and they look great after the paint.
We do them all the time.
We replaced a whole bunch of them when we took down the smoke heater. So, yeah, we still have.
And we have a couple more to replace after we replace the furnace and stuff from the.
Yeah.
That weekend. So that's great.
What about the kitchen?
Oof,
Any changes for the kitchen?
update or the dishwasher, the commercial dishwasher.
So actually, believe it or not, that's still the best one out on the market. And it just passed again, so.
So when we bought, I believe the cooler that's in there. Is it the cooler that's in there? Maybe I don't. We bought the stoves. and redid a whole bunch of things.
I believe, yeah, I believe
On a
that.
grant, on
Yeah.
an accessibility grant, when they did the flooring in here too. So that's not too old.
I believe the kitchen is really not bad. I mean, we use it quite a bit and it's not.
So we got new hoods going in, because that was in this year's budget too, the new exhaust hoods. And we're gonna check, make sure they're properly ventilated and
I mean, the Bay Marie, that unit still works fine. All of that stuff's still working fine. We have coffee, the coffee units are working good.
How's the table tray, what do they call it, the heating table?
That's the Bay Marie. Yeah, it's been fine the last couple of events.
The slow cookers are all been, that I've used are all been good.
Yeah.
I know,
I've had my kitchen a few times.
we bought
Yeah.
pots last year, and I believe we're gonna purchase pans, frying pans this year, because we had no, I don't cook, so I'm, but
I mean, the only challenge really is, I mean, the stoves are good, but they're not great.
your residential stoves.
If I had a choice, I'd say replace stoves for a better stove. But for the amount of use it gets,
Mhm.
I don't see
Yeah.
a return on investment for it. No, I really see no return on investment. We'll put it there to look pretty.
Yeah, that's it.
They're
If we had
working
more
fine.
people that were renting and wanting to use it for the purpose of the kitchen, then they would be great, but when there's no use in it other than, you know, the events that you guys put on.
I really think we should put it out there that if people really want to do stuff, they can use it as a certified kitchen.
Yeah, it's rentable.
Well, I know, but I think if we get that message out there more and people want to do stuff and use it as a certified kitchen, like we talk about all the time, you know, baking classes or something like that. And I think
Maybe,
That'll be in the.
maybe what we'll look at doing is, on our, some of our off months, when we don't have events or hardly any events, we'll look at promoting the community center and stuff. We'll do up a couple flyers and
Yes, and,
those
and,
off, yeah. times.
right, part of the strategic plan is to promote the facility to be rented in that, and maybe as we go through our events for this year, maybe there'll be an event for cooking or baking classes
Mhm.
Yeah, I
as
think-
we go
That'd
through.
be
Yeah, I
perfect.
think you can put it out there and say to people, hey, if you're trying to bake and you need to, you're doing all of your Christmas baking, why would you not come here, rent it for
I rented
Yeah,
it
whatever
last
it
year.
is?
Yeah, or
With
to
my
do a
stove.
family baking day, you know, and you can have your whole family, you know.
That's a great.
With a good music, turn the music on, have some fun, get it loud, bring the kids and go bake.
Yeah.
We rent it. for
We'll
the-
do a couple flyers.
Huh?
We were here with like having a
No,
big
so that might
sale
be an
here.
idea, we don't.
Yeah.
Like, people actually, they're buying
Pressure
the
canner?
I would
retail stuff
consider renting it
and then
for
see
that.
that the,
Those
oh,
are
the kitchen's
expensive.
Kitchen's
here.
available.
Yeah.
They're, yeah.
And if people had an
So once they
opportunity
rent
to-
it though, I mean, that's where it comes down to, right? It's, do you know how to use it? If you don't know how to use it, if it's off limits. So if you're renting that, you know how to use it and we will put it in place for you. If not,
Yeah,
right?
so there'd have to be a special waiver in the rental contract for
Yeah.
that one, because that one,
What's that, sorry?
a pressure canner.
But you're right. Because there's a ton of people that can, I
Yeah,
would love to make their lives a whole lot simpler.
I know a lot of people that would like to see a class on that, or a
Yeah.
workshop,
Which, sorry?
a workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we just did sausage making and soap making, which was really cool.
and there's a lot of people that would never know how to do that stuff unless they took the course. Yeah.
My family said when it hits the fan, they know where they're going.
Yeah.
All right, so fitness center, we usually budget to replace 2 pieces of equipment. So what happened with the fitness center is when we bought all new equipment on a grant. And the problem with that is you get all the equipment at the same time and then try and replace it all at the same time. So what we've been doing is putting money into reserve, and then we budget to replace 1 or 2 a year or as needed. The treadmills take quite a hit, but we deal with a company out of Sudbury. They also come down and do the maintenance and inspections and repairs. We've had quite a bit of damage done over the last year.
Unfortunately, this year's all been repairs.
Mhm.
One punching bag stand was purchased. And that's gonna be about it for this year, because we got more maintenance. And the other problem we have is some of the equipment's obsolete, so we can't get parts, and so a lot of the handle grips and stuff, we can't get parts for them anymore. So
Yeah.
we're finding some ways to,
So the rapid bag was pulled down, the heavy bag was pulled down. Lots of different things were broken.
I'll tell you, I don't go anymore, mainly because there's no cameras. Because I feel very vulnerable down there. Nobody
We did
going
have-
down there.
Quite a few requests for that in our survey. So it's within our, there are 2 spots down there where you can't see when you walk in if there's somebody in there. Because,
Yeah.
we don't.
I used to go all the time. I had a membership for years and I just, because I go at 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, right? So coming in
so
town.
we are doing a few little things, like we are putting some mirrors up in a couple blinding spots that we have identified, and, but it may come down to cameras, but
I think if the damage continues, we need to know where it's coming from. But a lot of people aren't comfortable working out on camera, and I can appreciate that. But even if we had just the entrances and the exits and some key spots.
I think most gyms have cameras down.
Yeah.
They all do now.
And it is an unsupervised facility.
Right, so
It's,
I
but
don't think
the
it's
damage
unreasonable at
is.
all.
another suggestion that we're gonna have to put in, we're gonna start looking for a new fob system as well. Our fob system was great in the day, but as people and things change, we need to adapt with it. So we're gonna look at a new system.
It makes it easier for us to track, because right now the reports that come out of that aren't. We learned that during COVID.
Is it worth, making it a supervised facility for the damage that's being done?
It's not cost effective, no, at this point.
I think somehow we have to put signage up stating what it's costing us in repairs. And if it continues, the users are gonna end up having to pay for it.
So I put on, there's a message board down there, and I did put a message
Oh, okay.
up. And when I came back, it wasn't the same message, shall we say?
Mhm.
Oh,
So
people,
there's,
and I hate to say it, people don't care.
no,
Because they
no.
look at it and say, you have the money, there's tons of money and
We have put
they don't
signage up.
care.
I had Chris
No.
help me and we go down the next day and they're
It's
gone.
gone.
So we can staple them to the walls, we can do everything, but the odd person that goes in don't like it and
If we get new fobs and email addresses, then you can send it out to
Well,
them.
I think right now, so the problem with the fob system without a camera system is one person with a fob that's active comes in and they're not alone. And we don't know who's with them, right? And so we had asked that every member scan when they come in, and if you're on the honor system, that's okay, but unfortunately, we find more and more that that isn't the case. So we need something that's going to be a little bit better. And the cameras may be the way to do that.
And the other thing too, by a new fob system, that'll give us the ability, if we have to, is to lock somebody out until we're able to contact that person and talk to them.
Mhm.
So I chased somebody for 3.5 weeks trying to talk to them about an issue. So at least if I could lock them out, they're gonna contact us right away because they can't get in.
Yeah.
So,
They did that with the convoy.
pardon me?
We did that with the convoy.
Oh, boy. Oh,
I was wondering, I was talking to my husband and daughter who are volunteer firefighters and they both have the opportunity to get gym memberships.
Mhm.
And as I was counting beer cans the other day, I'm like, what am I doing this for? And I was like, hey, you know what? I would love to get a discount on a gym membership myself. Would that be possible for
Volunteers.
the volunteers?
If that's a recommendation coming from the committee and a motion for council to review, then we would have to update the user fee bylaw, but nothing's off the table, just has to come in as a motion for council to review.
And then we just have a policy worked around with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great ideas.
What would be more cost effective, going with new fobs, updated fobs or whatever, or putting in like hotel have, with the cards?
It'd be the same thing.
Fob cards.
And actually, the fobs stay programmed longer than the cards. I think that's these fobs that we have now, we've switched from one fob to another. So that's what, in 17 years, we've only switched the one time. And they're pretty good. And we don't have that many that don't work. And we can still track who's coming in, and we can lock people out now if we know who we're looking for, but it's just harder for us to track down who it is. But we
How
have,
many members do we have?
I don't know. Because people will have their card and they don't have an active membership. But we have about, we have well over 1,000 fobs out, but we don't have that many active memberships.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
hold on to the fob
I
because it's only a
believe the
$10
one-
refundable fee.
Time we looked, it was over 200.
Yeah.
The one time that we tried to
Of
track,
active people.
Mhm.
Because during COVID, we had to track down who had active memberships. And the program that comes with the scanner is not friendly at all. So we actually had to print it out and then go through with the highlighter. It was a lot of fun. And so that was how we tracked everybody down. But yeah, so we need something that's more user friendly.
but like anything, it was great in its time,
It was.
and it's just
State of the
New
art, when
data
we
is-
put it in.
needed, and so it's. So have we heard of any equipment or anything that anybody's ever heard of?
I had someone ask for something to do with oblique station or
what, sorry?
something, oblique station, I don't know.
Sure.
So I guess we're working out. But I know, my daughter loves it, so it's got all the basics and she's happy with it.
It's a great facility. We go 3 times a week.
No room for classes though.
So what
Is
we've
that
done in the
down
past
here?
has been up here. So we have had individuals who want to run the programs. They come and they rent the facility. We give it to them for a discounted price for rental, but they also have to give us their insurance.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it's give and take. And if they're going to charge for people to come to their classes and they're making the money, then they pay for the insurance and they pay a discounted rental. And the committee at the time had done that so that we could offer the service, but this person's still running it as their business. So that's That's always an option if there's somebody that wants to do that. We've had requests for cornhole. I don't know if in here is big enough to do it.
Yeah, it's
No,
big enough.
It's big enough.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
So
We
you.
do
provide the
cornhole
equipment?
Yeah.
You could.
Bloomfield
Yeah.
has they have a weekly.
That's kind of neat. I never thought of doing it
Yeah.
inside.
They do it at 250 Clark. too.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that they do at 250 Clark. I don't know if the committee wants to compete with 250 Clark and find different things to do, right? So it's different things.
I know in the States, there's actual buildings or areas, that's all it is.
That's a big deal down
It is.
So I'm just looking at our survey here to see if there's anything else. So the fitness center, I think that was pretty good. Everything's working down there.
And we had a lot of positive feedbacks about the lighting we put in the hallways and stuff, so the automatic sensors and stuff, it was great.
Used to come in, it was pitch black. That was not good. So on the survey, we had for pricing, we got 47 goods, 9 satisfactory, and 10 needs improvement. So our monthly fee is $25 a month. And then we break it down from there. Use of the equipment didn't seem to be an issue. A variety of equipment. We had 43 goods, 15 satisfactory, and only 2 that needed improvement, but there were no comments about what changes to make. So that's what we have. So I think there's a couple of the pieces that we should probably look at replacing in the next budget. But-
Yep, we did get a list at the annual inspection of stuff we should look at.
Good.
Some of it you can't get parts for a period, some of it's just a matter of it's on borrowed time,
That universal
so.
set that we have, do they want to replace it or can they repair it? The universal gym with the weights for the 4 different sections with the,
Oh, we already got the parts.
Okay.
We're looking at hopefully have that back up and running by the end of the week.
excellent,
Yep, that was one we could still get parts for.
all right.
We want to jump to beaches?
Yep, there's beaches and docks. So we have 2 municipal beaches. We have Lynx Beach and we have Wolf Lake Beach. Lynx Beach, we believe that we owned more property than we actually do there. So we had made a plan to actually make parking, but we can't because we don't own the property. So there is no parking other than the municipal parking lot at the corner of Birch Grove. So that's that. But
So one thing we identified for the park and all the beaches is we need lids for our garbage cans to help keep the water out. So we're gonna look at, see if we can get lids for the garbage cans we already have. If not, we'll have to put in for new garbage cans. So
They're expensive.
they are,
and people are,
The lids are expensive.
New garbage cans.
One of the best things we ever did when I worked at Calendars, bear bins. I know they're expensive, but it stopped 80% of the people trying to bring their household garbage to each
and that
other.
was our biggest issue.
so
this year.
that's our biggest issue is we don't have garbage collection and the garbage receptacles are being misused. And when the government takes over the recycling, we're no longer supposed to have those receptacles because of that. So we'll have to look at that.
I've never been to the Wolf Lake Beach, but I know Lynx. Is there any maintenance done as far as like, there's so many pine cones that are just on the
Our
beach
public
all the time?
work stuff does an amazing job cutting the grass and breaking and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just on a rotation and unfortunately, that's the nature part.
Okay.
We've had requests for us to go in and remove the weeds too, but we can't go in the water.
Oh, yeah, no, I know that, but I just, the beach, a lot of times is a complete
And then
mess.
somebody suggested that we cut the trees down and then that caused another big,
Well, no.
And
yeah,
then we didn't own the property for some of the trees.
so.
Oh,
So it's a very strange setup. So that Lynx Beach was donated to the township
oh,
by the previous owner of the campground.
okay.
And it was given to the township and it's such a size and a space that there's no parking. It's just the beach. So there's not a lot that we can do there. But I can certainly ask Public Works to take a look at the beach when they're up there.
And are you wanting lids because of the illegal dumping or because of the rain?
Try to keep the rain and stuff out there. Cause we're gonna hopefully try it again next year, but if they abuse it again, we're done. Especially with the new garbage and recycling thing coming in, that's gonna be a major part.
Yeah.
So we like having it there, but we can't have all the household garbage ending up there, if the recycling ends up, because we do give a recycling and a garbage. So,
I work for Parks in Hamilton, and I'm very well aware of.
The Wolf Lake Beach is right on it. It's the one that gets hit the worst.
It's very private.
We did take out the ramp, boat launch,
the Bobby Lake,
because that was in really bad shape. Now, again, that was given to the township by the Crown, and there wasn't a fund put in place to replace it, so we started. We have to do some work up there,
but actually it's in pretty good shape right now. And
and we do have to replace it, because in the paperwork from the Crown to the township, it's designated as a public boat launch and to remain safe. So we have to put it back in. Just not sure what
we're
we're
just
doing.
putting
Yeah.
reserves away.
It's still, it's actually safer for use now, and it's maintained to a point where it can be used. At one point, we want to look at something that's a little more permanent. So we just received the government dock at Wade's Landing from the Crown 3 years ago now. We started a reserve as soon as we did receive that transfer, and we insisted that they rebuild the entire dock so that we got a brand new facility before they transferred it to us, and that would allow us to prepare for the inevitable, and it seems to be working just fine.
And we started a reserve for Chapman's Landing as well. And we're gonna have to do a couple things down there next year. Unfortunately, our ladders that we installed here didn't make it this season. So we're gonna look at getting custom ladders made.
And I understand our floating dock.
Our floating dock needs,
Left during the windstorm.
okay,
Yeah, that
Okay.
just came in.
okay, I knew it, Kate broke loose.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So we're going to remove it and we're gonna revamp that one side of the dock for next season. But we are gonna have to look at the, at least resurfacing the top, but that's gonna be a year or two.
So we are
But-
putting reserves away for that, knowing that that was coming, so we're going to be ready.
And also when we do the reserves, we're looking at replacement too, which may end up being a floating dock eventually. So, but that will be couple years down the road.
But you're getting ladders for next year,
We have,
for
yes,
sure.
yeah, unfortunately, they just didn't make it. They were nice sturdy ladders, but just the way it is and so. Lots of positive feedbacks about that.
Yeah, it looks great.
And we're still enforcing the parking down there. Unfortunately, again, we didn't get much parking when we inherited that. So there's not much we can do, so we just keep working with the public and try to make it user-friendly for everybody.
And there is a lot of private property down there, so we have to respect those private property owners. So I think that was it for the capital, and that covers the budget. So we'll try and work that into a document. So my suggestion is that we put this into a document, a working document with a timeframe of a 5 to 10. And do it in a draft format with some pricing and bring it back to your next meeting for approval. Then we can move it forward to our capital forecast with the council. Now, programs and events, that's up to you. But the survey did have a lot of information on there regarding what people want to see. For programming recommendations. So there's trivia nights, board games, Zumba classes, card game nights, cooking classes for kids, cooking classes themed canning and baking, volleyball in the park, badminton in the park, youth craft events, adult soccer, and yoga. That was.
I think those were like the new activities compared to the ones that we already historically have posted in that, so.
So it gives you a lot to go from.
Yeah, and then as we look at the 2025, and there's the calendar there that I printed out, so if we want to look at, planning going forward, and as well, if anybody has any suggestions that they have for events as well. It doesn't have to be on there, and it doesn't have to be all of those events. I think we would be running events every weekend and, all of the time, so,
You don't want to wear out your volunteers
No.
either.
so it's looking at what makes sense for the community and the committee.
Mr. Chair, would you like to move off of strategic plans into event planning and budget 25, or would you like to continue?
Oh, no, we will move to the budget planning. Thank you.
So my suggestion, if it works for you, would be that you guys want to do month by month and kind of throw some ideas out that way, or do you just want to spitball some ideas?
I think that's what we did last time around, yeah, and it worked out well. Okay.
Just address something in the survey before we go further. In the survey and the recreation programming suggestions and comments, there were requests for bingo. So as the lottery licensing officer for the township of Nipissing, I have to let you know that as a municipal committee, we're not eligible for lottery. Municipalities are not eligible for lottery or lottery proceeds. So you don't have a service organization that would qualify to run it.
That's offset.
So I just wanted to take that away. Now,
That's just for monitoring purposes.
that's really, any lottery license, they don't.
Okay, just so you could do price?
Nope.
No way, okay.
Okay, let me qualify that. Anything that you pay a fee to take part in the chance to win
Yep.
is a lottery.
Yep.
So it's like the door prizes here for the dinners.
So,
Even somebody who doesn't come in with a ticket will get a ticket for the raffle, and that's fine. That's not a lottery.
And you can do a silent auction because everybody has the opportunity.
That's not a lottery.
That's the two things that we try to stick with.
so if we recognize like donated prizes or purchase prizes.
You can purchase prizes,
Yeah.
but they can't purchase.
They get
to
total,
win. It
but
would
if
have
we-
to be a free event.
Yeah, so if we just wanted to have the community out to do it.
That would be completely different.
So would you like to start with January? Mr. Chair?
Gosh, yes, go with January. I have no suggestions for January.
I have a suggestion for like the winter months, and I think I've been approached by a lot of people asking if there's cards or games during the day. A lot of the senior people enjoy card games, like euchre, this hand and boot or hand and foot or whatever is becoming quite popular game. And I think people are always looking for something to do in the cold winter months. Not necessarily in the evening, but during the day.
Yeah, that's when it's easier for them to get out.
For sure. Yeah, January, February, March stay, like, 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 weeks in a month.
So would that be something we just have the community center doors open, a volunteer to oversee it and just have card tables set up, like table set up?
Yes. I
Like,
think
like a drop-in type event.
a drop-in type of event, I think.
I still have the 20 decks of cards from the casino, so.
Because they're gonna say, hey, we're gonna meet at the community center, even if you were to say like every second Monday.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's gonna have to be a standing day, so
It
that
has to
they
be a
know
standing
that
day.
every second Monday,
Mhm.
January or November through February or March. is-
Yeah.
That's like, that's,
And with a volunteer roster, and then you just need a small budget for coffee and tea and refreshments.
yeah, just have to get that, and I think.
Do you even need that?
Yeah, just don't choose Mondays. That's our go-to day. Just putting that out there, so.
Monday and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays are booked at the community center, but yes, any other.
Well, we could
morning-
do the afternoon, so both are in
Yes.
the morning.
Yeah. But,
So yeah, no, that's, sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
A 2 to 4 or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So would you do like January, February, March? Like, would you look for 3 months, like the winter months?
Well, Shelley had suggested maybe November too, but, maybe we're late.
December is kind of not a good one. So
No,
it was
maybe
like
January,
to
February, March, yeah.
Because that's when people start to get the winter blues, right? They
Yes.
used to be around
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
And
and
sometimes November's still nice. We never know.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and people are busy before Christmas and stuff.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. and what day of the week? Like if you've talked to people, do they have a preferred day?
They've never said, but yeah, like if you do every second, say Thursday, every second Wednesday from 2 to 4.
Are you charging?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's a community center, right? People like to come and,
Well, and that's up to the committee, right? We're donating the space and to have it, and if we can have a roster of volunteers for somebody to be here to welcome people. And at the same time, when we have upcoming events, it's a great opportunity to say, hey, we've got a spaghetti dinner coming up. We've got this event coming up. We'd love to see you there. We've got a museum event coming up. We've got whatever might be coming up as well. So,
I would probably stay with the day that we currently have going, so that way if Randy's coming into cleaning, he's cleaning for one day, he's not coming in for two. So
So
if we say
so
Mondays
the
and
afternoon of
Thursdays,
a, yeah.
of a Monday or Thursday, that way it's, we're not putting extra money in the.
So would you think a Monday or a Thursday?
I think I would do a Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday,
2
okay.
to 4 for 3
Yeah.
months. That's great start. Okay.
Okay,
No,
perfect.
Are you saying every Thursday?
Every
Mhm.
second.
Every
Every
second.
second Thursday.
So it would be, say if we started on the 9th, then the 23rd.
How many people are available to do that?
What, volunteers? Oh, yeah.
How many people are working?
We only really need one person in the building.
Mhm.
Because it's,
It's a lot of days there.
The only time I'm going away in January.
It's
I'll be
6
back.
days
6
for
days,
the,
yeah.
for the 3 months.
Yeah,
It'd be the 9th and 23rd of January, the 6th and 20th of February, and the 6th and 27th of March. Or the 20th, sorry, of March.
Yeah, so it'd be 6 days we'd have to cover.
I'm actually available for all those days except January 9th.
And if there was ever a day that a committee member couldn't come, as long as I arrange it with the office, I could be here because I could do, like, I could work and do offline stuff here because I could get into the Wi-Fi. So,
And
You
my
know,
office is next door too, so
so, you know,
you just want to play poker.
Alright, I do not know how to play poker at all.
Oh, don't
I'm
tell
lucky if I can do crazy eights. So,
I would
Go
charge,
yeah, go fish.
I would charge a food donation.
We
Hmm.
could
Or
offer,
not charge, ask.
we could ask, but I also think it's sometimes, it's just nice for the community to come out.
Yeah.
Many of our events,
I think with a few of the events we do have, with food donations, it works out well. I don't think we want to overwhelm people, especially with what's coming with minimum wage going up and everything. I
yeah,
think it's right.
It's a mandate of the
Julie-
municipality.
Julie's right. It's just nice to open it up and get people in communicating over the winter. But it's 100% up to the board, but
There's not a lot of money, right? People are feeling the
Well,
pinch and.
It's a mandate of the municipality to provide recreation because it's a cost that can't be covered by anyone else. So for the small amount of money that it would be, that's more than covered in the budget.
that's great.
Coffee and cards.
yeah,
Especially if they're cleaning it on the same day as a.
yeah, that was a great suggestion.
Because it's not costing anything extra, open the doors.
And we put the extra mats out front for the winter months, so everything gets collected off the mats, so. No, that's awesome. Okay,
Okay,
February. So
February's family day.
in the past, yep, would be the 17th is Family Day. So would the committee like to continue with the family skate?
Yes, please.
I think it's a good thing for the kids.
Is that down at the rink? Is that where?
Weather committee.
At the park.
and I would have a backup plan like we pivoted to in case the rink isn't available. Like
They had
last
so
year.
much fun playing soccer.
They did,
Yes,
Yeah.
they had so much fun. I still hear about it now.
So we want to look at
I
the
like to stay.
15th, 16th, or the 17th?
I think we stay with the 17th. Because
On
we've
the
always
Monday?
run it on the family day date, have we not?
No,
Or do we do it on the Saturday?
we used to do it because people have to go to work the next day. And you have, what time is your skating usually?
It was usually early because it's dark still, right?
Yeah, it's usually dark by 6.
But you won't get the little ones out because they'll have school the next day.
So do you want it Saturday, 15th?
Saturday or
Saturday or
Sunday.
Sunday is probably better.
We did it on the 18th this year, so I don't know what day of the week that
Sunday.
was the Sunday. So we did it on the Sunday of this year. We could do it the same thing. We could do it on the 16th this year if you wanted.
Full schedule.
There might be people coming up just for the weekend and just for cottage.
That's a good point, Kathy.
Sorry, what?
There might be people coming up just for the weekend at the cottage or whatever to do
Yeah.
family days.
So you capture them before they go home too.
Yeah, that's Sunday.
And then we talked about doing a nice fireworks show that night as well. To, because we can get a lot of the littler kids, because we can shoot fireworks like at 6:30 instead of 10 to 11 or something like
Yeah, yeah.
Canada Day.
You can do the fireworks first, and then people can stay, so.
Yeah,
It was nice to do this for the snow because it lit up everywhere.
Yeah.
It was so
Everywhere
nice.
lit up, yeah.
and then we've done the DJ the past years, which has worked out really well. And hot chocolate usually.
And you had the 2 fire pits, I think, which everybody liked as well,
Yeah,
right? It's a
love
good way
those.
to warm up in that. Yeah, so it was awesome.
So if there's no skating, say it's a mild time or something, what would you do
We
in
brought
lieu
up
of
soccer balls.
soccer balls?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
even did,
Do we have
we
enough?
put the nets in the parking lot, and
Yeah.
they just played hockey in the parking lot.
Oh.
Hockey with the soccer balls, like just to make, so they had something bigger to shoot with.
Oh,
Yeah, and the
okay.
kids loved it. Like there was 2 kids that I think wrote the whole time. They stopped for one hot chocolate and we're back out there. Yeah.
And then with the fire pits, is there a possibility of doing maybe s'mores?
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
some
we
more
did
stations.
s'mores,
set up.
Yeah.
So we think a Saturday or Sunday?
It's Sunday the 16th.
You guys do this spaghetti dinner? So fire department or rec?
Right.
So, right.
We need that to it.
So that's normally around family day too.
Spaghetti dinner was March the 2nd last year.
It always seems to go over well.
Which this year,
Everybody loves it.
It's
Yeah.
great.
this year it'd be March 1st if you want to do the first Saturday.
Yes,
Then there's a week before March break starts.
yeah, because March break
So-
sort of starts on the 7th, right?
Yeah,
It starts
'cause
on
it's
that
usually
Friday, so I
PD.
wouldn't want to do the 8th because you might lose some people traveling.
Okay.
So spaghetti dinner March 1st then? Are you gonna do silent auction?
If the committee would like to try that,
That-
we haven't done that in a couple of years.
Yeah, so one of the big draws for the spaghetti dinner used to be the silent auction. Because it got really competitive.
I don't
It's a
know,
lot of
that's the
fun.
One year I bought, oh my God. I did on so much stuff.
The only problem we run into is people don't move. And they sit here all night and you can't rotate the seats. So maybe we say we won't, maybe we say that silent auction will be called the next day.
We've done that in the past anyways, but some people just like staying for the whole night anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think we
It's a
ever ran
social
into-
outing.
We never ran into issues of people standing and not being able to sit down, because we had this place like packed, like it was James
So
had
to be
all
able
the
to do a
prize tables set
second
up.
seating for
along.
dinner,
Pardon me?
but to be able to do a second or a third seating for dinner.
They actually, it just, people just flow,
We've never-
just came in, like, it just always worked out great.
It would just come in between these times, so.
And the tables of stuff are just on the outside and.
Yeah, I love the idea. I miss it actually. Yeah.
People that did takeout came and placed their order, they walked around the side of the auction tables and while they were waiting for their dinner and
Making bids.
So we wanna do the silent auction again this time?
I
I
would
think
suggest
last time I did silent auction, it worked out my time about 25 hours. And about 400 kilometers,
So I think
me
this time,
driving everywhere, going to see all my vendors and stuff.
I think this time, everybody on the committee works to come up with 2 items.
And how do you just get people to donate or how's that work?
yeah, so what we do is we do a donation letter up and we go and drop them off and they'll contact yourselves, whoever dropped them off, or contact us at the office and we make arrangements to pick it up.
So with the donations, there was usually, their business cards were with the donations, so you knew who was donating it, so
Yeah.
it was like advertisement basically during it.
Free
So
advertising.
then they
Yeah.
see perfectly who did what.
And then we always do a big thank you and
Yeah.
same with the Kids Christmas Run for all their sponsors and
Mhm.
we always do a thank you and because we can't do it without all our great
No,
sponsors.
of
and
course, okay.
So we have a great community and
So
Yeah, we don't want you doing all that running. There's enough of us, James, we can all.
I know, cause
Situation.
I go deliver them, and then I go back a week later and go start picking them up. And then you get phone calls, hey, oh, come get this, come in. So
Well, that's
It
what
does
the committee, right?
create-
Yeah.
it just
Everybody
creates a
can
lot of
share
time.
Yeah.
Just
Share the
making sure you're
Share
aware of
the
the
load.
time of, there's time involved.
can I make a suggestion though that when you say that the proceeds from the silent auction, tell them what it's going for and make it specific. So if you're going to say all proceeds go to the soccer program, and then you can reduce the soccer registration, or make it specific, because a lot of people ask, where do the funds go? And it's great that it's going to the programming, but if they have a specific goal,
Or it's gonna go to the apparatus at the playground.
Right.
Or what, you know, to the reserve for that
Yeah.
or what have you.
I think that's a lot of what we're hearing all around. So they're saying it's great that all the money from bottles go into, rec committee, but how much do you have? What are you working on? What are you working towards? So if we honestly say to the community, okay, so we're working on the surface for the rink,
yes.
and we actually put that barometer right there that says, this is what we're working towards. At least we can
so
say,
you'll really see that in this year's budget prep.
yeah.
Because we're using the funds from last year for this coming year, so you're gonna see all that breakdown this year, so this will be the
Community wants
first
to see
year.
it though.
This is the first year
The
we'll see it.
reserves for the bottle drive were in the
Yeah.
display.
No, I know, but I mean, but whatever it is, right? So if we talk about it all the time, so we're not looking to pull, like, make money from spaghetti dinner or roast beef dinner. We're trying to break as close to even as we can for both of those events, because it's not a money-making event, it's a bring the community together event.
But the silent auction is on top of that, and that can be a fundraiser to help work towards the surface of
Climbing
the
up,
rink
whatever it
or the
is, yeah.
climber at the park, but we'll have a price on it and we
Yep.
can make that goal.
And then we could say to them after it, spaghetti auction or silent auction, raise this much money towards that.
Correct.
Obviously, get excited, people get excited.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, anything else that the committee would like to see from March?
It's just the beginning of March, right?
Mhm.
March break.
So I do know that Kristen has volunteered to do a trivia night again. And she said March or April is a great time, or whenever the committee would, but I'm wondering if there's a bit of prep, but that's more finding out the information, answers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, do we want to try to throw a trivia night in March?
Yeah.
Maybe the winter months would keep us, Julie says people want to get out in the winter and that's probably a good time.
The 29th is probably your best.
Yeah.
Because then you're far enough away from March break that everybody's kind of relaxed.
And ice fishing's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's that.
Right?
If it gets started.
Trivia night was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we put together, like, we had different groups, they put together a council table, oh, I wasn't. We didn't do so well. We didn't do so well, but we had a lot of fun doing it, right? And then we could put together like a rec committee table and just have some fun with it. You did a staff table, a township table, did you not?
If we had friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had a couple staff that jumped
Yeah.
on the council's table because,
To help us.
Cause they needed
well, they
more
needed
people.
more people.
Yeah.
'Cause I believe I volunteered my wife,
I believe you did.
and I'll do that again. So that's great, that's awesome. So last year, Easter hunt, scavenger hunt was March 30th.
Yeah.
This year, Easter is the 21st.
Well, it's late.
Yeah, it's late this year.
Is that something the committee would like to continue?
Yeah.
The scavenger hunt?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Okay.
Everybody enjoyed it.
So the
It's gonna be
Saturday would be
Saturday.
the 19th, if you're looking for the Saturday.
Yeah.
Or the 12th would be the weekend before.
Cause a lot of people do go away for Easter.
Did you have it on Easter weekend last year?
Last year, we did it on the 30th.
30th,
Which was Easter weekend?
yes.
Yeah.
It
And we
was,
had good turnout for
And
it.
the year
it
before
was
was
the
also Easter
Saturday,
weekend.
it was the
Easter
Saturday
weekend's
of Easter
the
weekend.
We've
Like, why
always
would
run
you do
Easter
it before
weekend.
that?
Yeah.
People come up here to go to the cottage for it.
Right, like, I think Easter weekend's the
We
weekend
had
you
quite
do
a
an
few
Easter hunt.
kids at it
Sure.
last year.
And isn't that the weekend that people start to pick about opening cottages?
Some do, yeah.
Yeah, me start to think
Me
about it.
too, for
May.
usually.
Well, I just start to check and see if it's a ground spot.
Yeah,
So it'd be the 19th would be the Saturday of the Easter weekend.
So we're gonna have to, definitely budget higher for that. We need to replace all of our crafting supplies.
Okay.
Okay, they all need to be replaced.
So that'll be next month's meeting, will be all the budget numbers that will tie to all these events.
Just I wanted to give the heads up.
Yeah, that's great.
We ran into problems, we ran into problems last year,
Like, what do you mean by crafts?
like all of the markers and all that stuff need to be replaced.
Oh,
So what they've done, they've done decorated bags that you put your candy in or your goodies into, they've done cookies.
Cookies, cardboard, the egg,
Eggs.
also like little craft
Yeah.
tables, okay.
It's so much fun. It's a lot of
Oh,
fun.
okay.
kids just running around kicking a soccer ball even.
And we did a scavenger hunt.
And this is all at the Heritage Fair. That's great.
Yeah, the scavenger hunt went over to the school, the township office, the public works, to the museum, like you kind of
Oh,
stuck
okay.
around in that.
Different levels, so like the younger ones,
Yeah.
the older ones.
Oh, that's great.
And every kid had to have a parent in the group too, so it was kind of like a family.
So there was a volunteer and parents.
So we weren't fully responsible for it.
Yeah.
Parents, I think, just have just as much fun as the kids.
I think so.
That's awesome. Anything else that
So have we decided on a date for this?
the 19th?
19th?
Anything else for April? What else do we have on our thing here? Board game night, Zumba classes, game, cooking, volleyball, that's
It'd be
youth
fun to
craft
try and put-
event.
Would it
Adult
fun,
soccer.
fun to try and put a cooking event in there, like make maybe a baking workshop in April, and then.
So we do have a contact for cooking, and I believe the gentleman should actually have some free time coming up. Last time we spoke to him, he was just in the middle of changing jobs, but he should be good for 2025. So maybe Kim and I will reach out
Reach
to
out
him
and see.
again. And that was cooking.
He had some cooking ideas too,
Cooking.
but I know Julie, you
Yeah.
said you were interested in possibly doing a cooking thing. Are you still looking at doing a cooking?
Like me being the cook?
Were you not
Well,
looking
or
at
doing a
baking or
baking,
something?
I'm not, I'm more of a baker.
Yeah,
No,
baking.
even a baking afternoon.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
You take the lead on that.
Yeah.
So is that something you'd like to look at for
Sure.
April, May?
More May,
May,
only
okay.
because I have my first grandchild coming in March, and I've been asked go and be with them for a month.
Okay.
Could be a week, could be a day, I don't know.
Well,
Depends how
Easter it takes up a little bit of time, so that's probably a good event, just to have one event for April.
Yeah.
So May,
May.
so when in May do you, and that might be good, like,
Now, are we looking at children, like teaching children baking or adults?
you choose.
Yeah, I could do family. And-
That would be awesome.
No.
You and your mother.
You.
And so, because I haven't done this before, would it be one thing or several things?
That would be up to you guys. What would you
Whatever
have?
we want to make it. Okay, I gotta think about this.
Something seasonal.
Yeah, let me think about this, but I'm definitely.
So would you like to do it a Saturday, a Sunday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah,
So the long weekend is the 19th this year.
okay.
So you would have the 3rd, 10th.
And Mother's Day is the 11th.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Mother's Day is the 11th.
Tenth,
Yeah.
is a great day.
Yeah,
Mother's
Good
Day
catch.
baking event, that's a great idea.
yeah, because then you could, do something that way.
Or families could come and bake something for.
For their mom. There you go.
Okay.
You like Mother's Day or something? Is that how
I
you do
really
it?
have to
My
think about
children
that.
are all scattered
Yeah,
all
we'll
over the
chat.
place.
Okay.
I get excited when I play with that stuff.
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
So that's baking. Okay.
How would you do that, though? Like, would we supply the flour?
Yeah, that's what I have to, that's another thing I don't.
That's something we can discuss.
Well, we
One
have
we
to
have-
figure out first what we're gonna make,
That's, I mean, like,
and then we would look
put a
at
question mark there
how
for
much
now.
the ingredients are, and then figure out if we're gonna charge, or if we need to charge, or
How to figure it. Okay.
then we'll figure out.
That's
budget.
awesome.
And maybe it's just per person, like you charge maybe $5 a person or $10 a person, then we buy the ingredients and just.
Or if it's a family event, maybe it's $5 a family, and then
Exactly.
you figure out.
Something to help cover the cost.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else for May?
So May is usually when soccer starts,
Soccer registration starts.
registration starts. So we have to look at when,
We
So-
opened it up earlier though this year,
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
did, because we had the ability.
no, that's
Soccer-
actually when soccer started. It's May 16th to June 27th is when I have it. So we have to look at when we maybe want to start soccer this year. And we opened up the registration at the spaghetti dinner, which I think if the committee's in agreement to do the same thing, to keep that nice long time again. Because then that was almost a 2-month registration period. So
So
it's
we
just,
have the debit machine here for spaghetti dinner and
Right.
everything, so we can do it all here.
yeah, and people like that they could debit for the dinner and for soccer. So,
Did you start soccer before the long weekend this year?
16th.
it started on the 16th.
So it was the Thursday after the weekend.
Sure, that would be the 22nd. Or the 2025.
Why is the season so short?
So short for what? Sorry.
Once,
Soccer.
once school's out, then everybody kind of does their.
Everybody's gone.
So it ends when school's done, and then everybody can do their travel, because then they can't rely on people actually being around. So then you have a team with 5 people showing up.
So if you wanted the 7 weeks, it would be May 15th,
Before the long weekend?
and that's before the long weekend. If you wanted it after the long weekend, it would be the 22nd.
Yeah, I don't think you want, yeah.
And that would give 6 weeks of soccer.
We've been doing 7 for a while. I think maybe we should try the 15th.
Okay,
My suggestion is do the 15th to the 26th.
Because
What's
even
your
on the
thought, Andrew?
15th, just to start.
Because the first night's usually gonna be agreed, and
even if you get the majority of kids there, and you get some of the jerseys
Yeah.
out, and then the following week you get the rest and the jerseys, it gives the coaches time to sort of get sorted and organized.
And that first night is when the kids kind of figure out who's on their team and who's their friend.
Yeah, there's no actual game.
No.
It's more of a kickball and learn who's with them.
So the 15th to the 26th.
Yeah. And then you can start registration on March, at the beginning of March again.
So it's 6 weeks and it's the same day.
7th week,
7 weeks.
7th,
So it's every Thursday?
15th to the 26th. And I don't think we ran into any problems doing it at the office, the registration. at
Not at
home.
No,
So, yeah,
it was
perfect.
great. Yeah,
It
and
works well.
it works really well, and we had the forms online. People could drop them off or email them in and make arrangements for payment, and so it works really well.
If you don't mind me asking, when's the museum events and what are they?
Yes.
I know they picked that.
Yes, so the museum events, they have 3 events that they have planned for 2025. The 2 summer events, oh, it's right here in front of me, are on July 13th. They're gonna do some type of social high tea on July 13th. And then on August 17th is Heritage Day,
Sorry, when was that? The 17th?
August 17th. And then they're gonna do an event in November for Remembrance Day. They just haven't firmed up the date, whether it's November 1st or 2nd, whether it'll be the Saturday or the Sunday. It's just dependent on where they can get speakers and stuff. And that one would be held here at the community center. So,
Perfect, thank you.
no
So we're
problem.
doing it on a Sunday this year.
Pardon me?
We're doing it on a Sunday this time, yeah. For the Heritage Days.
Yes,
I think they'll benefit from that.
yeah, the Heritage Day, they always do on Sundays, but yeah, but they've decided for the September one, if the rec committee decides to do like a fall community event again, they would just have a booth at our event rather than have their own event, is what the committee decided, and focus their efforts on these 3 events.
Anything else for June? Canada Day.
So Canada Day this year is on a Tuesday. If we decided to apply for the grant, I had a look at our eligibility. If we wanted to go for the grant, we have to hold our event on Canada Day. So it's a challenge because in order to be eligible for the grant funding, we have to hold the event on Canada Day. So if the committee wants to use that funding, that's when the event would need to be. If you're looking at holding a Canada celebration and holding it on the weekend, then I would say forego the funding and do it with what works for the committee and the community.
Just forego.
I would suggest foregoing.
Yeah,
We
it's
only
school
got-
still, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a small amount of money.
Yeah.
And it was a huge amount of work for him to put in the application, and it was very specific what and when we had to spend the money. And our budget has always been, we've always come in under budget when we do it.
Yes, yeah, and you know, the budget that the township sets aside more than would cover what the committee wants to do to cover our event on Canada Day. So I would say do with what works for the committee and the community for that day.
So we'd be looking at June 28th or the 29th if you want to do a Sunday.
But then you run into that, everybody's going to work on
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, that was my next thing was,
Yeah.
a lot of people will probably have to work the Monday or take it off. So the 28th would probably be our. All right, then July. So back to the recommendations, board games, Zumba, cards, cooking for kids, cooking for adults, volleyball in the park, badminton in the park, youth craft, adult soccer, and yoga. So that was some of the stuff on the list.
It's really hard pressed to put people into a room to do anything in July.
No.
No, it'll have to take place in the park.
I would
Well,
say
but
if you're
I
gonna
mean,
do
even-
anything, an event outside.
It's anything, it's an event outside, but maybe the adult soccer. Maybe it's a family day, maybe we put together like a family, let's have some fun, you know, soccer, try and place our, what you call, what do you call that thing? Rope? Tug of war, the tug of war rope, and like have a family day in July. Invite everybody, right?
You could try a drop in,
Hmm?
you could try a drop in at Heritage Park and just have the badminton net set up,
Yoga, soccer.
just anything you wanna do and make it one evening a week. And
Yeah.
see if you got anybody, cause July, everybody's kinda, depends on the weather, is it too hot, are you away?
And we have a lot of our, camps now are doing big stuff on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like they're doing like, and they're inviting anybody that wants to come, right? So
Bands and.
bands and a whole bunch of stuff going on the weekends that are bigger campgrounds. Yeah, so we're gonna compete against that.
I was thinking during the week,
Oh,
one evening during the week, just for July, to see if you had anybody that came up.
What did we do last year in the park in the
Oh, we did
afternoon?
the Kennedy.
Jazz in the park in the afternoon.
that would be fun.
Last year,
It would be cool to have a music in the park one night.
I
Yeah.
wanna,
Yeah,
cause then you can get like our older,
They
Yeah,
love to
late
come and
evening,
listen.
early evening. late
like
afternoon.
a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they
Get
would-
everybody
and
out.
It would get everybody out. The kids could play at the park at the same time.
So in July,
Mhm.
so
That's a really good idea.
we
Music
have-
in the park.
Music in the
Mhm.
park,
we
yeah.
have the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th. If we stay with the Saturday,
You should go later, cause you have Canada Days.
Yeah,
beginning.
I would say.
Do you do it on a
26.
Saturday or do you do it on an evening, like a
A
Thursday?
Thursday.
I think you do it on a Thursday evening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because I think
Something
on the
different,
weekend you
like-
get people that are going away.
people who are camping here would probably come out. It's the end of the
Yeah.
week before they leave Saturday. They're getting bored, they want to do stuff.
Yeah.
change it up.
Yeah,
You know, they can bring their dinner with them, you know,
Yeah.
pack a dinner, stop somewhere, pick up their dinner and bring it with them to the park.
that would be fun.
Mhm.
it would be the 24th.
24th, yeah.
Were you hiring bands or was it just showing up?
I think you have to hire a band.
I think that would be best, just to make sure that you have someone there.
Yeah.
Gentle, chill.
Mhm.
You're right, like jazz or something fun, something different. Something,
Yeah, the
Do
museum
we know
has
somebody?
someone, yeah,
huh?
The one on Heritage Day,
the one that has the big harp.
we can
Have
ask
you ever heard
Jillian,
her? She's really good.
but I know the people that were there on Heritage Day, the Jay Houston band, they were really good and the crowd quite liked them. People hung around even when they were finished their tours and such.
Okay.
And the community center just had a band come in too, that was really good.
And they're local to us as well, which
Yeah.
is nice.
We could charge nominal for that again, $2 tuning donation, help cover the band.
Or you could advertise these events, because they're very small in budget. You could say that this is where the bottle drive money's coming into play
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the following year. So here's where your community donation comes back to you.
Yeah.
And we're offering this event for everyone. And then.
We get our box.
More to come.
Oh,
Careful what you wish for.
yeah.
August. So we have Heritage Days on the 17th for the museum. And the civic holidays on the 4th.
We have to do the
I just-
park, right?
Moving the park, which, so there was actually quite a bit of positive feedback happening in September this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was able to start a little earlier. It was a little cooler, but it wasn't too bad this year, but we were able to start a little earlier, so parents like that. That was a little bit of feedback I heard.
What if you
Just
had it
use this
like
for
the
rain
last
day.
weekend of August?
Like, cause Labor Day this year is the 1st.
Yeah. Oh. So it'd be late.
So Labor Day weekend is the 31st.
So I mean, school, yeah, school starts.
School
at
starts early and next year.
What was schools in effect?
But like, what if we even did it like the week of September 6th, this is their first tomorrow, or the 13th, like they're back to school,
I thought that
it's a treat, let's do something.
we survived the first 2 weeks.
So
of school.
September 13th would be movie in the park.
Or rather than a rain day, can we use our rain day for the next year?
I can find out.
Because we'd be euchred if we did a rain day, because we could be in the
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah. That might be fun.
I'll talk to
It's challenging.
So is there anything in August you'd like to look at?
You could look at other music, or you could look at a sports night in the park, like another evening event. I think you're right to stay away from weekends in the summer because it's challenging with people coming and going on the weekends, having company and that. But if you wanted to look at an evening thing,
Or do we just let,
people enjoy their stuff
do we just let the museum have their event in August?
and draw people there.
And
Yeah.
draw people there and not put anything in August and let them have their event.
Because in September you have movie in the park, plus you usually have the boot sale or the yard sale thing. So you'll have 2 events in September and that'll be busy.
Mhm.
The other thing too is if you see that if July goes well with that music, you can always advertise it
Mhm.
for the month after.
We could decide to do another one.
'Cause it's not like
Absolutely.
With that, I mean,
What do you think about music in the park and also having like vendors as far as like crafty vendors and things like that?
That would be fun, they can.
Because it's a Thursday
Museum
night,
wander
there's not a
around.
lot, like, a lot of them would like to do that because it wouldn't be booked, because most of the things
Saturday.
are on Saturdays or Sundays, right?
Mhm.
And then people come to the park and they listen to music, they go around, see all the different.
Yeah, we could put a call out for vendors to come at the same time,
Like
if
the
that's what
arts
the
and crafts kind of
committee would like.
And like a craft kind of, right?
Mhm.
Crafty,
Yeah.
crafty.
Next thing I know, we're gonna have a huge festival here in the year.
it's gonna be a music market.
Let's go.
I like the title of that, music market.
Yeah.
So we could
Oh,
be-
that's a really great
That's a great
idea.
title. There you go,
That's a great-
Andrew. That's
we
what
can
all,
think
that's
about
what the
that,
flyer's gonna
Andrew.
be called.
Music market.
Okay, so does the committee want to do vendors as well? Because I can coordinate, Jillian's got a lot of contacts for vendors because of the museum. So I can reach out to those and then I can contact them, but then when we do the flyer for it, then we'll just use the same format and,
Yeah, and they'll be happier this time because they're gonna get in among the,
Everything will be in one
yeah,
spot.
yes,
everything in one
yeah,
spot.
in one spot in the park. Yeah, okay.
And with doing the dates up ahead of time, you can put that out at the beginning of the year
Year.
so that the crafters can plan
Yes.
Yes,
time.
yeah, no,
So
love
They
it.
need months, so.
Because it just gives people something else to do that night.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's
I
great.
wonder if it'd be worthwhile in August to do another evening night for volleyball, badminton, because we have all that.
Yeah.
We could just set it up and have one
Like
person there. to
like a
help.
drop-in.
Just a
sports
drop in,
night.
just open it up. We go out that afternoon, put the nets up and everything, and just do a drop in. Whoever shows up can pick teams, and
Drop-in sports night.
we could try one in August to see how
For
it,
adults or family?
well,
Everybody.
just anybody.
What about the 21st in August? Then you're right in the middle of the month.
And it's after the museum's event, so
Right.
you're not competing with anything.
Because on the 28th, everybody's gonna be going back to school shopping and getting ready for the back to school stuff. So the 21st is kind of your last free
And that
week.
covers like the volleyball and badminton that was on our list. Zumba class, yoga, I don't know if we could do something, to drop in,
We could ask a Zumba instructor.
Yeah.
We have one locally.
we have a yoga person local too.
And then you can see how many people come out, and if you get a lot and there's the interest, then you could look forward at the next year to see if running a program for 4 weeks or a number of weeks
Yeah,
ongoing.
Like we're doing with the cards.
You know, this is
maybe.
a trial to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what we need to do, right? And I think that's a good indication for the committee.
Perfect. So this year we did the trunk sale, the community
On the
day.
14th.
Did we do it before the movie night?
So that's.
Oh.
Won't actually be dance on the same day, because it's too long for the volunteers, and there's only half dozen of us, so
And historically, if
it's a
you,
long, long day.
if you have two events on the day, on the same day, they won't come back for one. Historically speaking, that's what's happened with our events.
So you could move the movie a week earlier, or you could move the trunk sale a week later.
Do we want to focus around a community day again? Or do you just want a trunk sale this year? in
The
2025?
community was great with the 911 stuff. We found that most of the comments were that the museum stuff was so isolated compared to.
Yeah,
that.
so this year they're gonna just put a booth in
Yeah.
and
that
come
worked.
over to the park and not do the tours, and,
Yeah,
which will be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
That
lot
worked
of
better.
walking for some of the seniors.
I think we have to advertise our accessible parking spaces too a little more.
Yeah.
Because we do have them defined.
We actually, I believe we, put in the budget to purchase some portable signs.
Okay.
We've talked about that out there.
So what day are we gonna do that then, the trunk sale? Movie day thing.
I like the idea of moving the movie.
Either 20th or 27th, it doesn't matter.
Sorry,
getting
Lisa, I
late.
didn't catch that.
I was just saying, I think moving the movie a week earlier,
So the 6th?
that would be my opinion, but
And then Drew, do the trunk sale on the
The
13th.
13th.
Oh, the
yeah.
13th, yeah.
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 Yeah, we can get the notice out now too, a year early, because I think a lot of people were confused last year of what it was.
Yeah.
Even talking to a couple of vendors were saying, so we just said, saying people now, start putting a box aside for what you want to sell. It's a community yard trunk sale.
Excellent.
So we're gonna go with the 6th and the 13th then? 6th for the movie and the 13th for the trunk sale?
And I think we need to make sure that we're not conflicting with anybody else around us. So we might need to think about, it might have to pivot. Right?
Like what's going on in like say Blossom Calendar.
What's nice is though, we can compile this list and then reach out to Calendar and Blossom and say, here's what we're looking at.
These are dates. So why
Yeah.
don't you work around us.
We can try.
It's worth a try.
Mhm.
So October,
We have the Halloween dance, I guess, if this one is successful.
And it's a
Yeah.
Friday.
You could even have that right on Friday night.
Mhm.
On the 31st.
Yeah, Halloween is on the 31st next year.
For
We might
the
have a
older
dance
kids.
here, but then what happens about the little children that come here on the
Yeah, you would
31st?
get kids trick or treating.
Yeah.
Could we do both though somehow?
A lot of the older ones, like the 11, 12, they still go out,
Yeah.
or they have younger siblings, they go out.
Yeah.
Trick or treating.
Oh,
A lot of 15-year-olds still go out trick or
To
treating.
another town?
Yep, Blossom,
Oh, everybody.
Calendar.
Yeah, so that might not be, maybe we don't do a Halloween next year, and we didn't talk
Yeah.
about teen dances
Oh, we didn't talk about teen dances.
throughout, the rest of the year.
No, we didn't.
This is time to bring up what you heard.
So I've had comments of the ages for the teen dances. How, I don't know how to word it.
The older.
The older kids are not
Yeah,
coming
there,
because there's younger kids. And they do not want to share the teen dance with 11-year-olds. So how come there's a cutoff for 12 for everything else, yet we're gonna let 11-year-olds come to the teen dance? So.
This is good feedback, we need this.
So would we look at like 13, 16 year older?
I think maybe we do 13 to 16 and,
Interesting.
and
try.
you're nodding your head, is that what you're hearing?
So
Mine doesn't want to come because.
Yeah, and I've heard, I've worked with a
Because
couple.
Because the younger.
Okay.
So would you still be able to do a team dance on Halloween night? If
Being
it's 13
older,
to 16?
independent, right?
Yeah.
And the little ones are just, they're children still.
They're not at that
Yeah.
Yeah.
stage.
No,
The teens don't want to hang out with their baby sister.
No,
No.
I get it, I get it.
Or
Or
baby
their
brother.
mom.
yeah.
What?
Or their mom. I've been told I can't volunteer for any teen dance ever.
So could you look at a team dance on Halloween then?
I still think that if we're not offering candy and a candy bag, then no.
That the 13 to 16 year olds wouldn't come?
Correct.
Candy?
They want candy.
Really?
They want
They
candy.
They want candy.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's the.
I want
focus.
candy and I'm 21. Come on.
Yeah.
We can buy our own now.
Yeah, it's not fun though.
I just, I think it's legit feedback.
Yeah.
For sure.
No,
I think for this one, we have to, because we've
Yes,
advertised.
we've already
it as-
advertised it.
But
Yeah.
I think going forward, we can certainly make that adjustment if that's the feedback we're getting.
And do they all have to be 13 to 16? Can we do 10 to 13?
You could.
Well,
try.
could we do a couple of hours beforehand for like 10 to
11?
10 to 12,
10
13
to
to
12,
16.
10 to 12?
But we do
And
a
then-
lot for kids in the community, let's be
Okay,
honest. Yeah, we
then
do.
that's
So,
fine.
when I used to be on the rec for Powassan years and years ago, we used to do the teen dances there. And it was, for the younger kids was from 6 to 8, and from 8 to 10, it was the older kids.
Right.
And
That's what
it
I
was
was,
busy there, but Powassan's more of a center, so it's very
So
different.
switch over was fine at 8 o'clock?
Oh, yeah. I left with the little ones and I left everybody else.
Right. Maybe we do, maybe we reach
Yeah.
out to the community event. Maybe we say to them, hey, the next dance, you won't be with the older kids, we'll do a dance 2 hours before, but that, does that cost us more for a DJ? So we would have to.
It
have
will
that
a
conversation.
little bit,
Yeah.
So,
But
But how much?
probably not
Yeah.
much more because the
And again,
setups would already
bottle
be.
drive money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you're using it and we can show how you're using it. And you can do a poll through the school and just say, how many will come?
Why couldn't you do a Halloween dance, say like on the 24th or
We
the
can do the
17th?
Halloween, we can do it on the week before,
yeah.
you know, if you
Like,
wanna
why
do,
do
if
you
you
have to
wanna
do
do, it doesn't have to be.
it
the
doesn't
week-
have to be on
No, we
Halloween.
can do it the week
Because by
before.
the
Well, we're doing it
24th,
the
by
week
the-
before this year anyway.
Yeah,
By the 17th or 24th, they should have their Halloween
Yeah.
costumes picked by then.
Think done?
Yeah.
Trick or treating by then?
What?
8 to 10?
That's when I get started. For the older ones?
That's the best time, because the
Yeah.
younger ones
Okay.
are already.
Yeah, the younger ones are already gone by then, so you're not getting it.
My lights are off, don't do it.
Yeah, they're out at 5.
So would you like to try the teen dance on the 24th?
Sure.
24th, okay.
And would you
And-
like to try the younger and then the older?
Well, let's give it a whirl.
Yeah,
So would you
10
say
to 12?
5 to 6 to 7 would be young kids and then 7:30 to 10 would be older?
Yeah.
Have a little break to kind of
Yeah,
jig
yeah.
the,
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So 6 to 7:30 and then 8
8
to
to
10. Because an hour and a half's good enough. Right? Yeah. And
give it a whirl.
13 to 16 or 17 year olds?
16.
16.
and are we looking at doing 2 next year? Or just 1? Cause this year we did, we did 2. When was our
Well,
other
we
one?
should do another one, I think, Kim.
So we did 1 in October, and when was our other one? Was it was in,
April's
Was
kinda-
it April or
April.
May?
You should wait until all the snow's gone, so they're not wearing their boots.
Yeah, was it May tenth or
May
something?
10th.
May 10th. We did it in May last year.
That's a right up the weekend for you.
What if we put a dance in
I'm
June?
actually
In
standing up
June?
for you.
Because there's really nothing
Say
going
no.
on in June.
Yeah.
That's all we have going on.
We've got a Friday the 13th in June.
Friday the 13th would be cool.
That would be a really cool dance, Friday the 13th dance.
Yeah, and school's getting done, like, so the kids are kind of, you know,
Winding down.
and hopefully not too many are
So do we
away
want to try that young and old on that night?
as well. Yeah, I think if we're gonna do it, then that's the way it does
Yeah.
moving forward.
So we tried, so 2025, we tried both team dances
Yeah,
with the old, younger than the older, and then reevaluated for 2026.
yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm sure we can come up with something, you know, for the Friday the 13th to be, you know, sort of, I think if you make it a theme, then it's a bit of a catch for the kids to come.
Biker.
So
Tell all the bikers after they leave, Port Dover, just
Yeah.
come here to Nipissing. Rev your engines in the parking lot. All 10,000 of you.
so November. Are we going to look at another dinner in November?
So next year, the museum will have their event on the 1st or 2nd for Remembrance Day. So that's the only thing that may be going on.
First or
And they're
second or
looking
the
at
eighth
a
or ninth?
meal,
They haven't decided which days they're gonna use.
that they were looking at a meal.
Meal. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
Do we do anything for remembrance?
Yes.
Do we do anything for remembrance?
The school goes over to the cenotaph at the museum. That's where they end their ceremony usually. And the rest of the Legion comes.
so
The rest of the Legion comes here?
They go to the cenotaph at the museum.
do you want 2 meals in November then? Probably not, no.
I was going to say,
Don't forget, you got, that's deer season, so
can we have November that we don't have anything?
Or
Or
they're
do we
gonna
have
do
to
it
have
on
something
the
every
29th.
No.
would be the best.
don't have.
We have the X week.
I would say that let's just skip November. Because they're having the dinner already.
And the museum, we won't run a dinner in November, a second dinner, the museum will run it.
We do really well with the baking thing.
Then we can do a Christmas baking. Okay.
I was gonna say.
Look at Chris.
You know what?
Yeah.
I keep thinking about it more and more and more. Do we do like a cookie swap, right? Come out, bake here, do a baking day, do your baking day here, and we do cookie swap. And everybody takes home a little bit of.
Well, everybody will say, yeah, that's.
Amanda actually has, this year they're having a Christmas bazaar and bake sale. November 24th. Do that, if you get your crafts, you get your local vendors out. Bake sale.
Have we ever done that here? Have you ever had a?
We had someone try and run a craft sale here privately. That didn't work.
I think we only had 5 or 6 vendors, it's all inside.
How's that look to me? It would have to be a private bake sale, right? 'Cause we can't do a bake sale for I guess, but rec committee if it's not. Supposed to be the-
For a bake sale?
It's okay,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run a bake sale.
okay.
I think that might be fun in November.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a Christmas baking in November?
No. No, well, for me, Christmas baking is in December.
What about if we do a cooking class? If it works out for our
Patrick?
gentleman, Patrick,
November.
might be able
That'd be
to
fun.
do something
We can
wrap
do
around
it to be
Christmas.
confirmed.
Yeah, but
for
we
that
look
one.
at maybe. Leave that with Kim and I and we'll see if we
Okay.
can do
Cooking class for November.
cooking.
Cooking class, like, he talked about like doing soups and something like that,
Something.
which would be sort
Prepping
of
for the winter.
perfect for the winter, yeah.
So if we were to do Christmas baking, we could do cookies and Christmas baking. And we could have volunteers set up a gingerbread house station for kids
For the kids, that would be amazing.
In December.
and not like big, just a little gingerbread.
Yeah.
And do their own
While the
individual.
parents are doing the
Have fun with
baking,
the
the kids are doing the,
Individual,
yeah.
And I know we could get some teenagers and people to volunteer to supervise the children, so that would be fun for them. I used to do it in my house, but here it's a lot easier.
You can little ones. and
If
it's a
you're just
lot of
gonna
work.
pick a day, you have to confirm what day they might do the Christmas run, so you
So
don't.
we're gonna look at the 13th, December 13th for the kids' Christmas run.
Oh, December 13th is the kids' Christmas, right?
So if we do like baking,
On the sixth,
The 6th.
that way they can take home their gingerbread houses with them.
that's right.
Some people can get a start on their baking for.
So I've never done one here, so what would the maximum amount of people be?
That I don't know.
See, that's what I'm wondering.
That's the thing.
You can't have like 30 people in there.
No, but we can set up tables out here.
Because they can set up stations out here.
And then,
We take,
how many ovens are there?
we take it over the week of the 8th. We take it-
They're not convection ovens.
So
are
they
they?
did it on the 6th.
No,
So
they're
back to that. we're spending
temperamental
money on
ovens,
new
actually,
ovens.
but-
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
No, if you have a convection oven, you can do like 3 at a time, you know?
But if you're doing cookies, they're only like 10, 15 minutes.
Right. That's true.
Yes.
But I don't always do Christmas cookies, I do all sorts of Christmas.
Oh, we could do the Christmas baking, or we could just do gingerbread houses.
Kids.
Kids could do little ones, adults could do bigger ones. Whatever we wanted to do. That way you can have gingerbread cookies made up, you can have the houses made up, they can
Why
sell
don't we
them.
just put baking/housing?
Housing.
You guys will know,
Christmas fun day on the 6th
Yeah.
for baking and to be determined.
but
And you
you'll
can have-
know more from your first event
Yeah,
where
That's a
you
good
can
point,
lead,
yes.
lead the second.
yeah.
That's a very good point.
And whoever comes up with that, we can ask them what they'd be interested in.
So would we be, sorry, would we be purchasing like the gingerbread kits or?
You can buy the houses deconstructed, or I have the kit to make them. And there's different ways that you can do it.
Half the fun for the kids is trying to get the walls to stand up.
That's
Yeah.
right. So I know like the Bin Store, for example, they have all the different pre-wrapped kits.
Yeah.
And then you just bring in the icing and away they go.
There's something about it really fun, and we might be able to reach out to the community, but I know, every year, my guys come home with or go to their house with, Christmas plant or a pot, where one of the locals, and I'm not gonna give a name because we have to ask the question, but she literally goes to the dollar store, buys all the stuff, and they come home with a Christmas thing for their table, to go home.
Like a centerpiece.
A centerpiece.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would
Oh,
be
that
so
would be
much
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Like for that Christmas fun day, like it'd be so much fun for the kids to be able to take home
Decor for.
decor for Christmas for home, for their house, and be proud of it. And it really
Instead
would
of
be so
doing
much-
the baking and all that.
You could roll it all in one.
I think we have a day in mind and a kind of a couple themes.
So
So
we
I think
can
that's awesome.
decide to firm up what the actual is gonna
I
be.
think that's great.
Yeah,
That's
Oh,
excellent.
To be determined then.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll mark the 6th down as
Christmas
a,
baking
Yeah.
craft day, yeah.
that's amazing.
That would have been good because if they do it on the 6th, we could have tables already organized when we leave them, because we'll do all the wrapping and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause we take over the community center the week before our Christmas run, so.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Sure.
Budget, we're holding off until next meeting?
Yeah, I think we got enough and I think we'll place some.
The dollar amounts as we, yeah.
Okay. Amanda, community update?
So, I guess the president that was elected in June is no longer, so I spoke with Renee White. I don't know the position, I didn't ask the story, but she will be updating and has asked me to stay stepping in as their representative, so no problem. So upcoming, we have their Halloween dance on October 26th, it's licensed. They do have a monthly dance, but I think this is in lieu of, and it sounds like it's a lot of fun. Generally, people, step up and jump in with the band, help out, it's not just necessarily one band. They have the Christmas Bazaar and Bake Sale, which is November 24th from 10 to 3. They do Thursdays grooving with grandma in the afternoons at 2 p.m. And then on Thursday evenings, they have yoga at 6:30 and it's $10. Fridays, they do fall prevention too, 10 to 11 a.m. And that is free to the community, kind of similar to what we're doing.
We're on from the
Yeah.
community sports services.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so Renee and I are hoping that we can maybe communicate a little bit more and work together. Planning events, and maybe we can share communities a little bit.
Alrighty. Okay. Can we adjourn this meeting at,
Need it first.
We need it, we need somebody to move.
okay,
Somebody.
can I get somebody to move for adjournment, please? And James and Lisa. All in favor? Okay, meeting is closed at 8:35. Next meeting is.
8:31.
It's 8:31.
Yeah, so
That
yeah,
clock isn't.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
we can change that
We need
monthly.
new clock.
Yeah, new clock. Next meeting is November 4th, 24th. Same time.
You just say all in favor,
All in favor?
Carrie.